Hey, I'm your host, the Bread Pirate, and here are 19 useless facts about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild you probably did not know. Number 1. If you want a sharpshooting challenge, try to hit rocks in midair after they are thrown by enemies. If you hit it just right, your arrow will ricochet rocks right back at the enemy to do a little bit of extra damage. You might even hit them twice with one rock if you were lucky, like I was with this shot. That fact came to you from Fiskbot1. If you want to see who shared all the other facts on this list, then make sure to check the description below. Like seriously, give it a glance at least. These people are the reason we have this video, so they deserve some credit. Number 2. Hey listen, I've been playing Breath of the Wild since day 1, and I vividly remember my first time leaving the tutorial, exploring the ruins nearby, and then finding a bunch of wagons with ambers inside. Yet, somehow, it still took me 5 years to realize that you can loot each of those wagons twice. If you just walk around to the other side of the wagon, there's another amber there. It's just been there this whole time. So please, don't be like me. Be better than me, and make sure you collect this free booty. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, the reason I disappeared on YouTube for 5 months is because I was wrapping up my senior year of college. I'll talk about that more at the end of the video if you're interested. Anyways, number 3. Did you know? If you are chasing down star fragments and it starts to turn into daytime, you can give yourself some more time to reach those star fragments by just putting down a campfire. That's it, just put down a campfire, wait until the next night, and the star will still be sitting there. So now, you have an entire another night to reach that star fragment. Number 4. If you've ever wanted to make an infinite campfire, you can do so with just a simple torch. You see, torches never lose their durability from catching on fire. So if you set one next to a campfire, then the campfire will light the torch forever and the torch will light the campfire forever, even when you skip to the next day. Other wooden weapons are weak in this regard because they only work for a single day, and then after that, they sizzle and burn away.
Bye-bye!
In fact, torches are so impervious to extreme heat that they are the only wooden weapon that can survive the heat of Death Mountain forever, meaning they will never sizzle and never die from fire. This video is a proud unofficial sponsor of Pyromaniacs of Hyrule, keeping Hyrule hot since 2016. Number 5. Here's another hot fact for you. Did you know that if you go to Death Mountain without fireproof gear and go into your items menu, Link will always have one of his eyes closed? Yarr, Link, you're looking more like a pirate every day. Okay, fine, that's not actually that cool of a fact. However, what is interesting is that if you use the Dark Link hood on Death Mountain, then both of Link's eyes will stay open, because Dark Link never blinks. He actually kind of looks like an angry Lego head. Number 6. One of the first quests that you're given in Breath of the Wild is a quest called Captured Memories, where you're given 12 pictures and you gotta find out where each of them was taken. However, what most people don't realize is that the game will straight up tell you where you need to go for those pictures. At the top of each image is a collection of Sheikah letters, which, when translated, will tell you exactly where the picture was taken. Then, once you recover your memories in that location, the text will revert back to good old English. Or whatever other language you're using. You know, I'm not gonna judge. English is a messy language. You do you, French, Spanish, Italian, Russian, etc. people. Number 7. You can feed a lot of animals in Breath of the Wild, like dogs and livestock, but did you know you can also feed the wildlife in Breath of the Wild, like foxes and squirrels? Just set food down a few feet away from them and they will go to it themselves. It's super cute and I would say it's definitely worth your time. Wait, why do I hear a typing noise? Hey, stop that! What are you doing? Why, Iota, you're lucky there's children watching this, otherwise I'd violence your face. Oh yeah, will they? Wait, really? Why, that son of a choo-choo. Number 8. If you've ever wanted to, I don't know, telepathically freeze slabs of meat, well, you could do that now. I know how weird this sounds, but if you place a slab of meat in a warm biome and then walk into a snowy one, the meat will still freeze even though you left it in the warm biome. So yeah, in a way, it's kind of like you're telepathically freezing meat from far away. Not that anybody would want to eat frozen meat. I mean, what kind of weirdo eats ice cold meat? Link! What? No, nasty, spit that out. Number 9. A few months ago, I got a comment from somebody named Cody the Black Chicken, who pointed out that you can hear the flute players inhale throughout the Kakariko Village night theme. Let's take a gander. That's so cool.
Bonus fun fact.
The type of flute that's being played in the theme song is called the hachiku. It's a type of flute made from the bottoms of bamboo stalks. Pretty cool. Anyways, number 10. Here's a nice short one I learned from a friend. Normally, if you try swimming on lava in Breath of the Wild, Link will either bloop out of existence, or if you walk up to the lava, then Link will stumble and then pass out. However, if you land on a lava waterfall, then Link will play his drowning animation, which normally only happens when you drown in water. Number 11. Hey, remember a few videos ago when I brought up that there's a giant top above the clothing store in Gerudo Town? Yeah, sure you do. Well, let's just say we found something even more majestic than that. Behold, the world's largest piece of underwear! It might be made of metal, but this right here is unmistakably a bandana and a piece of Goron underwear. Yeah, there's the side by side. Yep, that's definitely it. So, if you ever get lost in Goron City and need help finding the clothing shop, just look for the giant steel piece of underwear that's looming over your head. All right, on to the next. Does anybody know where Link went? Wait a minute. No, not again. Link, get off that underwear. All right then. 5, 4, 3. Yeah, that's right, you little gremlin. Next time you try that, you'll be eating dubious food for a month. I swear, everything's going wrong this episode. Number 12. One small detail that's easy to miss can be found in Gerudo Town. If you go to the Gerudo Club and check out the price tags on the Radiant sets of armor, you'll notice that instead of saying price, like normal shop items, it says labor, because you aren't actually buying a product. You're simply paying the merchant the cost for the labor it takes to craft your luminous stones into clothing. The same thing happens at the jewelry shop next door, where they will craft headgear for you as long as you're willing to pay the price for crafting it and you have the necessary resources. And you know what? There are probably other places in the game like this too. I just only know of the 2 examples in Gerudo Town. If you happen to know any of the others, it'd really help if you put it in the comment section. That way the rest of us can kind of figure out. Link, no! Oh, he's trying to climb into the giant top again. I want to make a family-friendly channel, but this keeps happening. Unfreaking believable. Okay, number 13. Hey, this one should lighten the mood. If you live in the good old US of A, or you just want to learn a new sport, then it's about time you played baseball in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Similar to fact number 1, if you swing a weapon at the right time, you can deflect enemy rocks right back at them. It'll only deal 1 damage at a time, so it's not like you're gonna be taking down gold enemies with this strategy. But if you get a few home runs in a row, then you might be able to send a lower ranking enemy back to the sideline.
Home run!
Number 14. Starting midway through last year, my brother started doing what he calls a mostly 100% run of Breath of the Wild, meaning that he's alright if he misses 1 or 2 things in the game. Even with that though, he wants to try and collect as many Korok seeds as possible, which went pretty well for him at first, until he encountered this hole. The hole is located just southwest of the Lanayru Tower, and when my brother found it, he thought, hey, look, that looks kind of like a Korok puzzle. So he poked, and he prodded, and he tried to get a Korok to come out of the hole for about an hour. But no matter what my brother did, he could not get a Korok to appear. That's because, it turns out, this hole has no Korok. It is literally just a hole. And what's weirder than that is that nobody knows why this hole is there, or where it came from. Is it some sort of developer mistake? Did they intend for a Korok to be there? Whatever the purpose, nowadays it just sits by the Lanayru Tower, there to confuse players. But hopefully, now that you've heard my brother's story, you won't fall for the same mistake. Number 15. If you have ever picked up the Master Sword in Breath of the Wild, then congratulations, you have accidentally performed a durability transfer glitch. Last year, ITNT Piston discovered that when you pick up the Master Sword for the first time in Breath of the Wild, the item you were holding in your hands previously obtains the same durability as the Master Sword, even if it's normally a very fragile item. So for instance, you could be holding a torch with 8 durability points, then pick up the Master Sword, and it would suddenly give your torch 40 durability points. Or hey, you could even pick up the item with the least durability in the game, the stick, and create the Master Stick, which gives it like, 10 times more durability. It's fantastic. See what I did there? Fantastic.
You're fired.
Chief, the rest of the video.
Oh, right, you're unfired. I need you. Come here. What do you know about it?
Legend of Zelda trivia.
Yeah, don't answer that.
Note to self, avoid stick puns. Number 16. If you're ever walking around town and you need to find the general store, just look for the pot. Wait a minute, don't clip that. I'm talking about the giant pots, these ones. Gosh, get your brains out of the gutter, you sickos. Anyways, as I was saying, it's easy to find general stores in Breath of the Wild since most of them have depictions of pottery in their architecture. For example, in Zora's Domain, you can find tiny Zora pots built into the pillars of the buildings and behind the cashier. Then of course, the Goron Gusto shop has a Goron pot scratched onto the sign at the entrance. The Slippery Falcon has an angular pot above the storefront. And even the Korok General shop has a collection of pots in front of the storefront. Number 7, Teen. Okay, if you want to avoid spoilers about the final boss, skip to the timestamp on the screen. I'm giving you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, you're getting spoiled. When you enter into the final boss chamber in Breath of the Wild, it's hard to notice every single detail in the room. For instance, I never noticed that there was a giant Sheikah eye on the floor, probably because Ganon's fat Tushy was always in the way. But if you take some time to study the room, you can find some really cool stuff. Take, for instance, the giant map of Hyrule that is drawn on the walls of the arena. It's actually the exact same map you see at the end of the Trial of the Sword. All of the most iconic locations in the game are featured on it, such as the Dueling Peaks, Death Mountain, the Divine Beasts, and Satori Mountain. Satori Mountain is actually really special in this case because you'll notice that there's a little doodle in the middle of it, which is none other than the Lord of the Mountain, also known as the mystical blue horsey thing that's at the top of the mountain. Special thanks to El Duende 05, the Breath of the Wild glitch hunter who helped me record this footage and also pointed this detail out to me. I gotta say, El Duende's channel is on the cutting edge when it comes to Breath of the Wild glitches. So if you're into Breath of the Wild glitches, then go subscribe to him. There's a link in the description. Go subscribe, just subscribe. Number 18. In order to make elixirs in the game, you have to combine monster parts with at least one other ingredient. However, what many people don't realize is that Guardian parts count as monster parts. Nothing says tasty smoothie like Metal Gears and butterflies. Game logic at its finest. Number 19. Getting spotted by enemies is probably not the best time to be noticing Easter eggs in the game. However, if you take a second to let the enemies blow on their horns, you'll notice that there are different ones depending on the enemy type. As you can see, Bokoblins typically use an animal horn to blow through, but Lizalfos use aquatic shells. Additionally, these two horns make different noises from one another. The Bokoblin horns make a higher pitch, while the Lizalfos horns have a deeper pitch. Thanks to my good friend Nerdjin for DMing me on Discord about this really cool discovery, and KDT Gaming for helping me learn about the different noises that the horns make. Well, off to my shed. Oh, you guys don't know about that yet, do you? Yeah, so after my house got rioted by Bokoblins in the last video, I had to move out because the Bokoblins won't leave. So anyways, I'm sleeping in the mayor's shed. It's pretty functional. I can mooch off my neighbor's Wi-Fi. I work in the fields to pay rent. And, there's a hoe over here, so that's pretty cool. What am I kidding? This place sucks. But on the bright side, last month was my last month of college, ever. I'm officially graduated, which means, big news, I can finally do YouTube full time. And hey, if things work out, then maybe I can just barely afford a better place to stay than this shed. Anyways, until I see you next time, have fun storming the castle.